After all the test taking, the application filing, the essay editing, the campus touring, and acceptance waiting, the big event is almost here, dropping your team off at college. It's not always easy to say goodbye, so we need some advice for you moms and dads. Our empty nest life coach, Mary Ellen Gardy, here on The Morning Show. Good to have you here.
Thank you. I'm so glad to be here.
So mom and dad think that, you know what, I'm going to orchestrate the perfect goodbye. There's no such thing.
Nope. My first tip is, whatever you think is going to happen isn't. It won't go the way you think it's going to. So I try to tell people to kind of get in touch with and imagine what it is that they think is going to happen, and then they can sort of let go of it. With us, our firstborn, we took him to school. We knew we were going to leave right after lunch, and so I had sort of built up in my mind this epic lunch we were going to have, and we were going to tell him how proud we were, and we knew he was going to do great things, and he was even going to say some things back to us like, thank you for all the sacrifices that you made. You can see where this is going, right? The wheels were about to fall off. What really happened was we were standing in his dorm room getting ready for lunch, and the most gorgeous girl came bouncing in and said, hey, Joe, you want to go to the pool with me? And that kid dropped us like a hot potato. And I stood in the room going, no, 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 lunch, lunch. My 18-year-old son said something to me he's never said before or since, and he said, I'm not really that hungry.
Yeah.
So he went and found his bathing suit, and my husband took me to the car. And that kind of leads me to my second tip, which is, because I know you're not going to get the goodbye that you think you're going to get, I like to tell my clients to write a little note. A lot of people
You're talking about writing a note to the departing college student.
To the child.
Yeah.
So think through what it is that you want to say to them. I love you, I'm proud of you, we're behind you, we know you're going to do great things, we have such faith in you. Whatever those things are, you write a little note. And if you're not a writer, go ahead and put it on a Post-it. It can just be 4 sentences.
Or text to them. Kids can identify with that.
That's really true, although I think there's something about writing it down, leaving it on the pillow, because when you leave, you are going to go, I don't remember what I said. I've heard this from so many parents. I don't even know if I told her I loved her. It happened so fast.
And, you know, I can tell you from personal experience, sometimes you do something like that, and you're like, oh, this didn't register with my kid, they didn't appreciate the note. But somewhere down the line, and it may be 6, 7 years later, they say something, you're like, oh my gosh, I didn't realize that they really
It really had an impact.
What was going on. Yeah.
It really did. And it really does tie things up for you, because when you're sitting on that car ride back and you might not have been very emotional when you said goodbye, but it feels a little emotional sometimes in that car ride back or the plane ride back.
So is that why it's important when you actually do the goodbye, you keep it pretty basic and pretty simple?
It usually happens really basic and simple. I've never had anyone tell me it happened any other way than fast, surprising, not the way we thought it was going to be. So yeah, it really, keep it simple, keep it short and sweet to what you really want to say, which is usually a variation of I love you, I know you've got this, we're behind you.
Yeah. And then when you're in the car after you've left the college student, you're there with your significant other, not everybody deals with things the same way. And it's like my brother, you know, his wife looked at him and went, what, no emotion? Aren't you upset? People deal with things in different ways.
I can't believe you said that, because that's exactly how I felt about my husband. Our whole senior year with my son, I felt like he was in La La Land. I thought, you know, you just seem to be acting like this isn't going to happen. And it is, it's happening. And it hit him, believe me. It hit him when we pulled into the driveway and he didn't see our son's car where it had always been parked. All of a sudden it hit him. And that is actually my third tip, which is, this is a major life change. It's a huge transition. And like all transitions, there's a little bit of grief that goes along with it, even when it's a good one. It's a loss.
Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
By the way, I cried when I left each of my kids at school because they each had my credit card. For all things back to school, head to newsforjax.com and look under the Morning Show tab. We've got a special section for college students and parents.